Hey, welcome to Picturesque Muse. I am Regine. How are you guys doing today? Is your week going good so far? Made it through the first couple days, so you're halfway through. That's awesome. If I can get my light to not make it look so shadowy. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are new here, this is the place to kind of get your daily dose of mindfulness and self-care. Sorry, frog in my throat, and just trying something a little different, so hopefully I can get it pulled up on my laptop a little easier. And so we have been talking about goals for the last few days, and this is my goal reveal series. And so we've talked about almost did this right. We've talked about which goals have we talked about? We've talked about spiritual goals and emotional goals, and now we're going to, let's see, is that all? Have we only done the two? Dun, dun, dun. Yes. Spiritual goals, and intellectual goals. So those are the three that we have done so far. Get to the right spot. Here we go. And so I have done 10 goals a year for a long time. But this year I am basing it on Michael Hyatt's Your Best Year Ever. He talks about having 10 domains for your goals, so 10 different portions of your life. So that's where the spiritual, intellectual, and emotional comes in. Today I'm going to talk about physical goals. I think that's probably the most common goal. I know a lot of times losing weight seems like it's the #1 goal for everyone. I had set that as a goal for a long time, and it seemed like didn't really matter what I did. I was never hitting that goal. So, I mean, I'm sure all of you have the same type of thing where it seems like the days that you hardly eat anything at all, you still gain weight or stay the same. And then I've had days where I have eaten more than I normally do, and that's the day that I lose weight. So it's just really frustrating, and that's, I know that my actions do have, there's a cause and effect, but just what I was doing wasn't working, so I started doing like different types of physical goals. I want to get 10,000 or 15,000 or however many thousand steps a day. Even now I kind of have it to where like I have a weekly goal. I want to get 80,000 steps a week. So that works out to be 11 or 12,000 a day. It's just a good range for me. Like Sunday, it was a super lazy day for me. I wasn't feeling that great, and I think I had 6,000 steps, which is really, really uncommon for me. But then yesterday it was dance night, so I danced until like 10 o'clock at night, and I had 19,000 steps. So totally, I kind of like the concept of having kind of a soft goal for every day, but having a weekly target works much more effective for me. And these are all alternatives to I want to lose so many pounds in 2020. I mean, it's great to have a goal like that, but for me, focusing it on healthier lifestyle choices was a better use of my energy than fixating on the scale. Other things I have done was, I want to eat more veggies, and so, and that's kind of part of what we've been talking about with the whole goals. It's nice to want to do something, but a goal is a little bit more in depth than that. How are you going to do it? So last year I really focused on eating more veggies. So I did meal prep, and I did, so I had a salad every day for lunch that I worked, and I really was much more intentional with incorporating vegetables into my diet. So I had a plan on how to do that at least those 5 days a week, and even if it was just that one serving of vegetables. But I had these big old salads, so it was very good. Lifestyle change, so I don't really have as much time to eat at lunch, and I haven't been doing as much meal prep and the salads. Just haven't had a chance, like I don't have the time to sit down and eat them when I'm working at the gift shop that I have, that I work part-time at. So I was kind of just, so I'm still working on that. So this year for my goal was to stop eating at 9 o'clock at night. Sometimes I don't get home until 8, so I had to, I know some people say, oh, don't eat after whatever. So I chose 9 o'clock because that's what works for my lifestyle. But and I also gave myself the grace to stick to that 90% of the time. I know that there's nights where I'm going to be out with friends, or I'm going to be doing, even like last night, after all that dancing, I needed a little something to not have my, to just settle my stomach, because I burnt through all my calories or all my nutrition that I had at dinner. So, I think it's unrealistic for me to, just knowing myself, that I'm not going to do it 100%, but I can do it most of the time. And so that is how I set my goal. And that's, again, these goals are here to serve us, not us to serve them. They're here to support us in, living the life we want to live. And, part of me that is, do I want to lose weight? Absolutely. I think most of us tend to want to do that. But more importantly, I want to be healthy, and I want to feel, I want to have the energy, and just all those other health goals that, losing weight and having a healthy weight is part of it. And changing jobs, reducing that stress was a huge benefit that, got me down into a more healthy range just by changing that part of my lifestyle. So, this is the goal that's helping me as far as my physical body. It's what I'm working on. And when I was setting the goals, I'm like, really what I probably need most is to go to bed earlier. And that one, I've tried setting that as a goal, and I've just consistently struggled and failed. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to give myself a pass on that one at this point. It's kind of a soft goal. It's something I started setting an alarm to remind me to go to bed earlier, and it's helped, just even setting that alarm. Even if I don't go to bed right then, I've like, okay, I worked my way there sooner than I had been. So while I know that's probably what my body needs the most, that's the one it's almost too much of a push for me, so I've scaled back to the eating. And I've also noticed if I stop eating earlier, and one of my silly tricks to encourage me to not eat is to brush my teeth. So if I brush my teeth, I'm done for the night. I'm not going to eat after I brush my teeth. So that is one of my tricks I play on myself. And then when I brush my teeth, it's kind of like, oh, when I brush my teeth, wash my face, I'm ready for bed. So it does kind of help my brain, my psyche or whatever holds me back from getting bed. It does kind of help me to, it encourages me to do that. What else did I have? So that's where I go back to the whole going to bed. It's not a super realistic goal for me at this point, so I'm not going to push myself. I don't want to set something that I'm most likely going to fail at. So it's not, it's not the purpose of the goal. The goals are to stretch us, but not to break us. So that's, again, why I have that, that goal. Like I said, I've done the step count goal before. It's not really a challenge for me. It's not a stretch goal because I'm pretty consistent at doing it. So I didn't choose that. Well, it's something I'm mindful and I kind of track for my own self. It's not a goal because there's not a lot of growth there. I pretty much hit that step count goal for myself. So the other thing is, setting up a tracking system. Steps are really easy. That's kind of one of the reasons I've defaulted to it, even when it hasn't really been a growth goal. But it's important to have something that's like, oh, well, I kind of, and like I'm in the process of putting all my goals in my bullet journal and setting up a tracker you know, and you know, so, but without having some kind of tracker in place, it's really hard for me to keep track of if I did it or if I didn't. And then I've had other ones where I set up a little like grid or something to kind of record stuff, and then I did it for like a month and then I left it. So it's important to set goals that I'm actually going to track, and remember to, you know, look back at my tracking system and just kind of have that in place. But at the same time, I don't want to spend half an hour every day tracking all the things that I have in mind, you know. So some of them is just kind of a little quick routine. I jot down, you know, on my calendar, I just jot down every day how many steps I have, and, you know, stuff like that. But there's other ones where it's like, oh, I'm not really tracking this. How important is that to me? Do I need to change my goal or change my my process to where I do track it more? Because I know they say the, you know, the goals that you're successful at are the ones that you measure and the ones that you're recording every day. So that's another part of goals, is where do you want your focus to be? Where do you want your time to be? How much time do you have to spend on these things, and do you want to spend on these things? So it helps me kind of focus on the ones that are really the most important. And I think that is everything that I had here. So I would love to hear your physical goal for yourself for 2020. Is it to eat more vegetables, or to eat, you know, cut your portions, or is it to exercise more? You know, I think it's interesting how some of the goals kind of overlap. Getting outside, you know, for a walk every day is definitely could be considered a physical goal. For me, it's more of an emotional or a mental goal. Just that getting outside is good for my mind, but there's such a good connection between our minds and bodies. So when we have our bodies in good place, our bodies in motion, that creates a healthy mind. It helps our emotional well-being as well. So, you know, sometimes I kind of played with in my head like one goal in one category, and I was like, oh, I think it really goes back here, and this is a better goal for this category. So it's interesting to kind of see the overlap in those 10 domains. But yes, please share your comments. I'd love to hear what you're working on and your thoughts about physical goals that are effective for you. Please like the page, like this post, and it helps to for more people to see it when you interact with it. And I'll also, you know, if you head over to the Etsy shop, have a lot of mindful photography that can help us focus on our goals and becoming the people that we want to be, to live our best lives. And that is it for this hump day. I hope you are having a good one, and take care of you until the next time. Thanks.